Hey babe, last night, after I finished my dinner, I was laying on my bed feeling relaxed, but unsure of what to do next. It had been a long day, and I was content with how everything had gone. But there was this lingering feeling of emptiness as I lay there, not knowing how to fill the silence. The third person wasn't in the room with me at that moment. She was probably in the kitchen, either washing dishes or doing something else. I can't say for sure what she was up to, but I knew she wasn't near me, so I was left alone in the room with my thoughts. As I lay there, staring up at the ceiling, the quiet seemed almost too much, and I decided to grab my phone. It was a reflex, an easy distraction, hoping to find something fun or interesting to pass the time. So, I opened up social media, figuring I'd scroll through a few posts. There was no intention behind it. I wasn't looking for anything specific, just hoping to mindlessly occupy myself for a little while. As I scrolled, I didn't think much of it at first. I kept moving from one post to the next, flicking through videos, reading comments, watching funny memes, and occasionally liking posts. I was doing what most people do when they're bored, just wasting time without really paying attention to how long I had been on my phone. Minutes turned into half an hour without me realizing it. I was so caught up in the content I was seeing that I didn't even register the time passing. At that moment, I wasn't thinking about anything important. I was just in that autopilot mode that comes with endless scrolling, trying to fill the gap in my mind. But then, right when I was about to put my phone down, ready to rest for the night, something popped up on my screen. It wasn't something I was looking for, but it appeared suddenly, catching my attention completely. I couldn't help but notice it. It was almost like a sign, something that demanded my focus. This unexpected image on my screen made me pause for a moment. It wasn't anything extreme or out of the ordinary, but it was just enough to snap me out of my mindless scrolling. What happened next surprised me even more. I found myself comparing you to the third person. I know, that sounds strange, right? But the thing I saw made me think about both of you in a way I hadn't before. It wasn't something I planned to do, it just happened. A thought crossed my mind, and then it spiraled, until I found myself reflecting on how I see the two of you in my life. This unexpected comparison caught me off guard. The more I thought about it, the more I realized it was an important thought, something I felt you should know. I couldn't just ignore it, even though it was surprising. I know it might sound odd, but it's been on my mind ever since, and I don't want to keep it to myself, not when it's something so revealing about my feelings for you. So here's what happened. I was caught up in that moment, lost in my thoughts while scrolling, when I saw one of your photos pop up on my feed. It caught me completely off guard. I didn't expect it, but as soon as I saw it, I stopped everything I was doing. The world seemed to slow down for a second, and all I could focus on was you. There was something about the way you looked in that photo. It wasn't just your beauty, though that was certainly there. It was the energy that you radiated. It was like you were right there with me, and in that moment, I couldn't stop staring at your picture. You looked amazing. I stayed there for a long time, just looking at it, not even realizing how much time was passing by. I felt this sense of awe, thinking about everything we've been through together, all the moments we've shared. It was a deep feeling, a reminder of how much you mean to me. But then, almost unexpectedly, something shifted in my mind. As I looked at your picture, I couldn't help but start thinking about the third person. The comparison was subtle at first, but the more I thought about it, the clearer it became. I didn't intend for it to happen, but I found myself reflecting on how I feel when I'm with you versus how I feel when I'm around the third party. And honestly, babe, it was eye-opening. When I think about being with you, It's hard to describe exactly how I feel because it's something so rare and special. You make me feel accepted in a way that no one else does. You've never made me feel like I have to be anything other than myself. There's no pressure, no sense of needing to prove myself. You've always treated me with such love, kindness, and respect. I never have to question my worth when I'm with you. You make me feel like I matter, like I'm valuable, and that is something that means more to me than I can put into words. On the other hand, when I think about the third person, I realize there have been moments when I felt completely different. I felt small, like I wasn't good enough. I felt judged, criticized, and undervalued. There have been times when my feelings or opinions didn't seem to matter, when I felt invisible or like I wasn't being seen for who I really am. It's hard to even explain why this happens, but it's a feeling that I can't ignore. And I know it's not something you've ever made me feel. It's not like the third person is intentionally trying to make me feel bad about myself. But the way she acts, the things she says, it sometimes leaves me questioning my worth. It's not a nice feeling, and it's not something I want to keep carrying. But the truth is, there's a stark difference in how I feel when I'm around you compared to when I'm around her. The more I thought about this comparison, the clearer it became how important it is to feel good about yourself when you're with someone. With you, I can let my guard down. I can just be me, and I know I'm accepted for who I am. There's no judgment, no hidden agenda, just love and support. It's a rare thing, and I truly appreciate it. But with the third person, I felt like I'm constantly walking on eggshells, trying to make sure I don't do or say the wrong thing. There's always this feeling of uncertainty, like I'm not sure where I stand or if what I'm saying is enough. It's exhausting, honestly, and it's something that's been weighing on me for a while. When I compare the two experiences, it becomes so clear to me just how important it is to feel valued in a relationship. And with you, I feel truly valued. You've never made me feel like I'm less than who I am, and for that, I'm incredibly grateful. You've always shown me so much care and respect. It's not just about the big gestures either. It's the small things, the way you listen to me, the way you make sure I'm okay, how you make me laugh when I'm down. You have this way of lifting me up, of reminding me of my worth, even when I forget it myself. The third person, though, has never really made me feel that way. There have been moments when I felt like I was putting more into the relationship than I was getting out of it. I felt like my emotions were dismissed, like my concerns weren't valid. It's difficult to pinpoint, but it's a feeling that's always lingered in the background. And I have realized that I don't want to keep feeling that way. So, this comparison, while unexpected, was actually an important realization for me. It made me reflect on how much I appreciate the way you make me feel. It's something I've always known deep down, but last night, it became crystal clear. I don't want to take that for granted. You make me feel like I'm enough. You make me feel important, loved, and seen. And those are things I never want to lose. This isn't about comparing looks or accomplishments. It's not about who's better or who has more to offer. It's about the way you make me feel and how that feeling is completely different when I'm around the third person. I never thought I would be in this situation, thinking so deeply about these comparisons. But here we are. I want to share this with you because I think it's important. It's important that you know how much you mean to me and how deeply I value the way you treat me. You've shown me what it feels like to be truly loved and respected, and for that, I'm forever thankful. I don't want to keep these thoughts to myself because they've made me realize just how lucky I am to have you in my life. I'm not asking for anything to change. I don't want to dwell on the past or the feelings I have about the third person. But I do want you to know that you are my everything, and I appreciate you more than you could ever imagine. You make me a better person, and I hope you know how much I adore you. Thank you for always making me feel like I matter. Thank you for being you. I love you more than words can say, and I'm so incredibly lucky to have you by my side. Always and forever, yours.